Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. All right.
Good evening, ma'am.
All right. Very good evening to everyone. Welcome to day 2 of Ivy's boot camp. How is everyone doing today? Good.
Good, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good.
All right. Great. So today, like you were told, today we will be working with the visualization component of the data, in which we will look at we've picked up a data set of Spotify. Does anybody know what is Spotify?
Yeah, it's a music app.
It's a
It's a
music app.
music streaming app.
Music streaming app. Absolutely correct. So it's a music streaming app that is there. And the data set that I got was pretty big. It was like more than 2-3 GB. So I've reduced it down to 2021 data set. Okay. So all this data that you're looking at is only 2021 data set. Now, when you are using a streaming app, or when you're, let's say, analyzing the data of a streaming app, what do you think you would be interested in?
Accurate data and like probability. If we come into this case of music, like what are the countries where Spotify is mostly used and the songs that the people hear, like the most played
Okay.
songs.
Most played songs would be important. And we always look at top 10, top 20, newest, things like that, isn't it?
Yes.
How many artists are there on that particular streaming app, right? Top artists, absolutely. We look at top artists, we look at the top songs, we look at top songs based on how many streamings have been done, and so on and so forth. So that's exactly what I've done today over here, right? So I have picked up few things. Like I wanted to understand what are my top 10 regions based on number of titles. Number of title meaning how many songs have been released in a particular region. What are the top 10 regions from where maximum music is showing up? And then I have picked up my top 10 artists. Who are the top 10 artists? What are the top 10 titles based on number of times it has been streamed? So this is what we are going to try and create right now. Okay.
Yeah. Go.
Can anybody recognize what tool I'm using over here?
It's a Power BI.
It's Power BI. Absolutely correct. So we are going to use today, we are going to have a session on data visualization, whose main components is dashboarding. And the purpose of dashboarding is to be able to analyze or understand the data quickly and easily, and take some outcomes from it, or there has to be a reason why this dashboard has been created. So the reason could be I'm trying to create a similar app, and I'm trying to see, okay, which countries the app works, what kind of artists are popular, what kind of genre. If I had information about genre, are going to be popular, and so on and so forth. So here I am to present. How many of you have Power BI?
Just installed it.
Yes, ma'am. I have downloaded all.
Okay, so at least 2 of you have Power BI. Others? Abhinay,
Installed, ma'am.
Abhishek, installed. Ashish, Aralana, Camelia, Deepak, Ayush, Gorish, Ishita, Mridul, Irfan, Jyoti,
Yes,
Sanjay.
ma'am. We have.
Done. You guys have it installed. Great. So we are going to get started. I'm going to briefly introduce myself. My name is Ishani, and I'm one of the lead trainers for tools like Advanced Excel, power users of Excel, automation of Excel using VBA, and data visualization, in which I work with tools like Power BI and Tableau. So not only do retail badges, but do a lot of consulting as well as a lot of corporate training badges for all these technologies that I've spoken about. Okay. Now, to get started and to make this thing, first, what do you need from me?
Data.
Data, exactly. So you guys need the data. Along with the data set, I downloaded this Spotify logo. So I am going to pass that on to you. And anything that you, when you look at this dashboard, why do you think I picked this color scheme?
Because Spotify have a similar color scheme.
Because Spotify has a similar color scheme with it. Absolutely correct. So let's try and start with the very first step. It matches the logo. Absolutely correct. And do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Great.
It is important, right? when
Yes.
you're working, when you're working on your client's data, when you're working for a particular company, it is important to recognize the color of their logo. If there are certain colors based on the projects, then we need to make sure our visualizations also reflect that. Okay. So when you start off with Power BI, let me open from over here. So everyone can launch the app of Power BI. This is a hands-on exercise, so the more you are able to do with me, it's better. And before I make you go to Power BI, I have to give you the data set. So I am going to give you a link to the entire folder that I have, in which, like I said, I have put three things. One is a data, one is a logo, and one is a JSON file. So for now, download all the three things and I'll let you know what the JSON file is meant for. Logo, you already know. Can everybody see the link of the drive in the chat window?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
All right. Yes.
there was a question. Like whenever we get projects, so the colors are mentioned, or like we need to take according to the logo, or
It's
are the
not mentioned. It depends on the kind of project or the logo of the company. So I'll give you an example. Like Spotify, if I pick, I would pick green and black because that's the logo of the company. So typically what happens, the company also uses the same color for all their interactions, for all the collaterals that they have created. So we would like to make a document that merges with their colors. That's number one. Then there may be cases like I had worked with one of the NGOs. So NGOs typically they had the color, but their projects had more importance. Like the company itself is not important in that case, but the projects on which they work, I had to pick up their theme. Okay. So it depends. If it's like a company data analysis that you're doing, I would suggest pick a company's color. If it is some project, let's say, for example, if you're doing something on female education, right? Then we typically use a pink and a white color palette. So I would follow the same. So it depends on the project or the company, right? Everybody has downloaded the three things, the JSON file, the data, and the logo. Once done, if you could write done in the chat window, that would be wonderful. Done, good. All right, Ayush done, Swarnava done. Swarnavo, I think. I'm little still rustic on this name thing. Tej is done. All right. Okay, same needs to be, hold on 1 second. All right. Now, once you are on this, when you launch your Power BI desktop, this is the very first screen that you will get. My left part of the screen, yes, it will match up with yours, but the middle part may not be exactly the same. So that's all right. In the middle, you will see something for sign in. You don't have to do any kind of sign in. Power BI desktop is completely free of cost, and you can pretty much do the entire work over here. So what you need to do is click on get data. Now, what kind of data can we connect to Power BI? This is the entire list. And this is a big list. So nowadays, what is happening? People are having so many different type of formats of the table, so many different data sources are there. So Power BI, Tableau, all these business intelligence softwares have become very, very powerful in terms of their connection with the different sources of data. So once you click on get data, the first and foremost thing that you have to do is tell Power BI what kind of data set we are going to connect with. Since you guys have the file already, can you tell me what's the data type? Which format is the file?
JSON.
Excel.
JSON, there's one JSON file.
CSV.
That's for
Excel,
something
ma'am.
else. Excel, is it Excel or is it CSV file?
CSV.
It's a CSV file. CSV files are what? They are the text files. Okay. Can anybody tell me the full form of CSV? Too many
Comma
questions.
separated.
Comma
Values.
separated values.
Absolutely correct. Comma separated values. That is what V stands for. So once you click on CSV files, what you need to do is go to the data set. That's what I'm doing. I would request you also to do the same and pick up the data. The name of the data is Spotify data. It's a CSV file. And if you're confused because of the symbol over here in the type, when you hover on top of it, it will tell you comma separated value. Though these files you can open in Excel, but this file is so big, when you're going to try and open in Excel, you may find a very, very lethargic Excel at the other end. What's the maximum number of rows Excel can have? Anyone? Maximum number of rows Excel can have? 10 lakh rows of data. Close, right? And if you have anything more than 10 lakh rows of data, it's not able to upload the data. So once I downloaded the data out of habit, I started opening it in Excel and blank file because it was not able to process it. It was about 2.5 GB of data. Then I had to use my visualization tools to open the data set, to filter the data set, and then I convert it back into a CSV file so that I can share it with you today. So this is a pretty much reduced data set only consisting of 2021. Can I get the link? Yes, Madhav, absolutely. Oh, 1 second. There you go. It's
Please wait. The file is downloading basically.
yes. I'm waiting. Downloaded, connected. I'm waiting at the spot where it says load, transform, and cancel.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Madhav?
aren't we supposed to clean the data before we analyze it?
Absolutely, yes. But in 1 hour, I can't teach you cleaning and analyzing both. That will be a little tough, right?
So we assume that this is already cleaned.
It is not a very clean data. Let's be very honest, but I did not clean it.
Okay.
Okay. And because a lot of places, especially when it artist and titles, the text part, that is the unclean part in this data. And it's not that missing values or outliers might be there. It's more of text data being not very clean. Some of the characters, special characters are there in the name. But I have not cleaned the data. I'm going to be honest. But you're absolutely right. The very first step actually is cleaning the data. We clean, we prep, and then we use our visualization of predictive modeling tools on it. Okay, guys, what's the status? Are we done?
Please, ma'am, give me 1 minute. Please.
Sure. Camellia done, Mridul done. Madhav, I would say please download and connect, because these workshops is only worthwhile spending 1 hour of your time if you're able to do some hands-on. Because, honestly, I've worked on a lot of tools, a lot of programming languages. And the day I just watch and say, yeah, I know this stuff, this is easy. And then I try it myself, it
Yes,
never
ma'am.
happens. Till you don't get your hands dirty on it, you never are going to master a tool. Okay. So take this opportunity. It's a 1 hour boot camp, but we are going to make the maximum usage of this 1 hour.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
All right. So Dhruv is ready. Ranadeep is ready. Pinaki, Rachita, Sanjay, what about you guys? Tripti, Yash, Shreya,
Ma'am,
Ayush says yes. Yes, Sibam.
ma'am, I have a doubt that after downloading, we have to go that get data,
Yes, absolutely correct.
and then the file is coming. After that, what should I do?
So for example, once you click on get data, this window will open up and one more window opens up, which is going to ask you the data type, this one,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. Yes, right.
So over here, the file that I want you to work with is a text file.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to select text file, you will click on connect. Now this allows you to go and pick the text file. Okay, so then you're going to connect to the data set I've set. And once you do, I'm getting this. So what is this? This is basically a preview of your data. And it's not all the rows is showing, it is doing only based on the first 200 rows. It's showing, okay, there's the artist, there's something called a chart, there is a date, there are regions, there are title, there is something called trend. It means that whether the title moved up, it has been on the same position, right? And the URL for it, what was the rank? I didn't use the rank, and the stream. So these are the data sets that's there. I missed to use the rank in mine, but rank would have been a good variable to work with. So once this is done and you're happy with, okay, this has been picked correctly, yes, it's a proper table that Power BI can work with, then we are going to go and load. Now, when you were talking about the forgot your name. Sanyam, right?
No, ma'am. Shivam.
Yes.
No. Sanyam had asked me a question. Sanyam had asked me a question about data cleaning. So just to make you understand, if the data is clean, it's nice, we simply load it. If we have to make any kind of modification in the data, let's say get rid of the duplicate rows, do the missing value treatment, to do the outlier treatment, then we might, or we want to transform the data. Then we'll go to transform data, which takes us to Power Query. But like I said, can't cover everything in this hour. So just for your understanding, if it's clean, I'll load it directly. Otherwise, I'll transform, clean it, and then load it. All right, Sanyam?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. So now we have connected the data. The data is loading. Like I said, it's not a small data set. It's a big data set I've given to you. So it may take time to load also. And there was 7 years of data. I reduced it to 2, still too big. Then I was reducing to 1. Still it is big, but then I was like, then there's no point of reducing it so much. So that's why I left it over here. So everybody, I hope you are started the loading of the data, because like you see, it takes time.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, how do we manage if we have to analyze all the years or data from all the years?
What do you manage?
Like, yeah, if we have to visualize the data from all years, like,
Mm-hmm.
then can't we use the Power BI?
Absolutely, we can. We can. But the whole point why I reduced it, we could have done it. In fact, the first dashboard that I started creating for this bootcamp, I had put, like over here, you see, in this over here, you see, I put some slices. So over there, I had put slices of year also. I wanted to do year-wise analysis. But the point is, in this 1 hour, you would be taking up a lot of time to download that data and to upload the data. And trust me, I teach a lot of professionals whose machines are very good, given by the companies and so on and so forth. Even their Power BI stalls if the company, if the laptops are not very sturdy ones. You understand my point? So a lot of you would have complained, my Power BI has crashed, it's become so slow, and then it misses on the entire fun of being in this workshop. That's why I've reduced it. But yes, if there were 5 years, 7 years, it was about 2.5 or 3 GB of data. Power BI loaded up easily. No problem was there. It takes time to load it. Once it's loaded, the working is fast.
Now, from where do we get the data? This data?
The entire data you want?
Yes, ma'am.
It was from Kaggle. But if you want, I can send you the link for the entire data. I'll have to find it
So
out.
from where? So from there we download the data and then like we copy paste it here.
Which data are we talking about? The
The
full all
Spotify,
the years. All years are you talking about, or the one that I've sent?
the one that you have sent.
I gave a link to you, right? In the
Yes, ma'am.
drive.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you have the data over there, Spotify data.
No, no. How did you get that data?
How did I get the data? That's what I got it from Kaggle.
And that after that, how did you reduce it to 1 year? Basically, like
I pulled it in Power BI. In fact, I pulled it in Tableau because somehow my Power BI was not I was not able to do what I wanted. So they took it in Tableau, just put a filter of the years, converted into, again exported back to a CSV file, and that's it.
okay. And ma'am, what's the meaning of cleaning the data? Like someone asked, what's
What
the
is the
meaning of
meaning of
cleaning the data?
cleaning the data? Would mean, see, what is the problem in the data and why do we need to clean it? Because a lot of time they are, let's say, duplicate rows. Okay, some of the columns which should be unique, they are duplicated, or they are empty rows, completely empty rows in your table, or the values are missing. Let's say there's a column and there are a couple of values which are missing. Now, if I leave the missing value, if I leave the duplicate, or if I leave
Got it,
the
got it, got it.
incorrect value, right?
Got
So
Yeah,
one
yeah.
part is that. Second part, when you say, when we talk about cleaning, we talk about cleaning and transformation, right? So transformation would mean, let's say if I got all the years data and the company had only asked me to analyze 2021. So even the process of filtering is preparing the data.
Okay.
Okay. So
Got it,
even
got
the transformation part of creating new columns, filtering the data, cleaning the data, everything is preparation. That goes before we start this work.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Excited to make dashboard? Me too. Let's start. All right. So we are in this place. Now, I can tell you what to do step by step, but I think it's very important for us to be able to recognize the main areas of what we're going to do today. So this window that you all are looking at is called a report. This is where all the dashboards are created. In report, there are three main areas that we will be working with. One is on the right side, if you see, one is called fields. And what is in the field? We have our table. And if I click on the drop down, I will be able to look at all the headers, all the fields, or all the columns that are there in my table. So I have things like artists, charts, date, rank, region, streams, title, trend, and so on and so forth. Second component of it is visualization. Like you can see, what is the role of this area? This helps us to pick a chart and to create our visual for our dashboard. So various type of charts like funnel chart, waterfall, clustered bar chart, pie chart. These are called cards, which we will be creating, slices, decomposition tree, a lot of varieties over here. And this part is also divided into two parts. One is building the visual and one is formatting the visual. So once we build a visual, things like I want to increase the font size, I want to change the color of it, I want to make it in the middle, that goes in the formatting part. And the third component is the filter area. Now filter, we can filter a particular visualization. We can filter all the visualization on one page. See, this is the page, and I can have many pages, or I can put a filter such that affects all the pages. Okay, so that is what the filter is meant for. To begin with, what I have done, I have changed this theme. You've got a, which color screen do you have with you? White, just like me.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
And
Yes, ma'am.
I have a
Yeah.
different color over here. So how do I manage this color? So I went online, and there is, if you type in Power BI themes, it takes you to the Power BI community where a lot of themes are there, and you can download it. Now, when you download a theme, it downloads as a JSON file. That's the reason you guys have that JSON file. Okay. Now, how do you change the theme? We are going to go to View. On the left, Themes. So these are all inbuilt themes. And if I want to change it, I'm going to go to Browse Themes and then go ahead and pick up the theme that I've sent you. I have sent you No Walls Analytics theme.json. So once you pick it and you click OK, automatically you will see the theme has been imported. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. All right. Now let's go step by step. This is our end goal. So let's start from the top and build the bottom. So what do I have? What is this? It's the title of my dashboard. Is the title important or not important?
Yes, ma'am. Important.
It is important, ma'am.
It is important, and why? Why do you think the title is important?
As in your case, we can see that this is a Spotify dot 2021 itself.
Okay.
It is specified that what kind of data is in your visualization.
Absolutely.
To
So
know
once
what is
I
done, basically what is done on the Power BI,
exactly.
what
So
data
think
is.
not only Power BI, I think it tells me about the data. It helps me to recognize very, very correct. I always relate my dashboard with a simple concept. Let's say I open a newspaper. On the top, I have heading. When I read the heading, half the battle is done. I know exactly what I'm going to see at the bottom. Correct? Same thing is with your dashboard. When you see your heading, it should tell you what are you going to look next, because we're going to always start from the top. So headings are very crucial, very important. Without that, these data elements will take a lot of time for a person to understand what they are. So what we are going to do, we are going to put our text box. This is a text box and this is a picture. So let's get started. Where is the text box? It's inside insert. This is the text box and this is the picture. So you can click on the text box, change the size. I'm not going to go into too much of formatting, because if I do that, I'll lose a lot of time. And then if you want to change the style, if you want to change the size, and if you want to change the color, you can click over here. Now you see these colors are coming because of that theme. So I'm going to pick this color and then I'm going to put all caps and write Spotify data analysis. Okay, if you want to make it in the middle, click over here, it comes in the middle. Then on the side, I have put the logo. So for the logo, insert itself, add image to your report, and then I picked up the logo. I reduced this and I pushed it over here and I reduced it further so that it fits along with my header. I can't have a very thick header, so I had to reduce it further. Got it? Don't go too much into the formatting at this point. Let's just build it. So Tejas, which part? The logo or the text box?
Then, ma'am, the logo and the text box.
No, Tejas needs help. Tejas, the logo or the text box? The logo. So logo is what? It's an image, right? So insert over here image and pick it up. So it might come big, doesn't matter all these white spaces, no cropping is required. Just reduce it. It does not spoil. Typically, you know, when you do like this in other softwares, it spoils your aspect ratio of the logo, but over here, or the image, but over here it doesn't. So I'm just going to do this. It still maintains the aspect ratio of it. Okay. All right. Abhishek, Abhinay, Anurag, are we done? Madhav, Jay, done. Mridul, done. Okay. What's the next step? What do we see next?
Filter.
Filter, and so this is a filter. This is called a slicer. Okay. And we have the similar thing in Excel also and every other tool. And these are called cards. Can anybody tell me what's the usage of the cards? Why cards are important?
To tell the numbers.
To
And to
tell
select.
important numbers, right?
Yeah.
So for example, very, I think, easy to understand. If we talk about, don't want to say the name, but coronavirus. So you understand the KPI is excellent. So if I talk about coronavirus, so what are the big bold numbers? Number of people, active cases, recovered, deaths. So three things everyone is focusing on. And then, yes, then there are things which are given in detail, country-wise, what's going on, in terms of date-wise, month-wise, what's going on. But what a person is first looking at is total number of cases, how many recovered, how many deaths are there. So those are the main highlights of the data. Same is the work of the KPIs over here. What is important? Let's say I wanted to understand the number of songs in 2021, how many countries were there from where the artists are, and how many number of artists were there. So I've created these KPI cards, and then I'm going to create a slicer. Let's start with the KPI card. So I'm going to create one. Once you've understood one, I'm sure you can build the other one. So once you go over here, where is the KPI? KPI, the cards that you're creating, is also a part of your visualization. So over here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth column, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth row, a card is there. So once you drop the card, and obviously you can always, modify it. I'm going to drop the card over here. And now what can you put in the card, or what's the purpose of the card? The purpose of a card is to aggregate a value for you. Okay. So what did I put over here? What did I put over here? What do you think I put over here to get the number of songs?
Text box.
No, this is not a text box. It's a card. The card
No,
will
the
do
card.
the work.
The
But
card.
among all these fields or the columns that I have, what did you think I put in order to get the number of songs?
Rank.
Streams.
No. No.
Rank.
If you put rank, how will it give you the number of songs?
Which song is the first? Means like
Nobody.
song?
Title.
Artist.
Title. Number of songs is title. Okay. So do people give like 54 lakh rows of title ranking?
No, ma'am, but the hit song, medium song, the low song. So for
That
that,
is
I
there.
thought it's a ranking.
But I want total number of songs. So the total number of songs is done by title. Absolutely correct. So what we do, we pick title, and you see the field over here. We are going to go and drop it. Now, once you drop it, title is what? Title is actually a text. So any BI tool, including Excel, what it tries to do is like, this is text, I can't aggregate, or I can't do a summarization on it. So what we will do, we will click over here. Now, I can't do a sum and an average and a max and a min on it, but I can always count a text. So I am going to do something called count distinct. Why count distinct? Because this data is huge.
This data is not clean.
This data is not clean. So I want to make sure I'm only counting the title which is unique. Okay. So for uniqueness, what we did, we went ahead and said, I want to do a count distinct. Got it? Distinct value, not common value, distinct value. I want to avoid the common value. Now, obviously, we all use the same theme. We all got the same card, but my card looks still different. So I had done modification because this card wasn't, even though it was a theme card, this is not impressive. I didn't find it very impressive. It's not big. I can't read it. I was not happy with it. So I went ahead and formatted it. Now, the best thing to do is once you're working in Power BI, the best part of Power BI is that you can copy paste. That reduces our headache of formatting a lot. So if I create a card or if I know I'm going to do a formatting changes, I only work on one of the elements. Once this is done, I'm just going to simply copy paste and change the field that I've dropped in it. So how you're going to change that? This we are going to go in format over here. So we go to format visual. This thing, tiny thing, count of title that you see at the bottom, it's a category label. I will get rid of it. This is a call out value. I want to increase the size of it. Right? And I want to put a title, and I want to put a title on the top saying number of songs. I'll go to general, title, and over here, all caps, number of songs. And then I change the color once again for that. So text, pick this color. And then made it bold and put it in the center. So all these changes I had done over there. Okay. Once you're done with one, then like I said, I'll just make one more. So let's say if I had to put for number of countries, all I have to do is remove this and put the region over here. Same thing, it's taking first, I'll do a count distinct and then just go ahead and change the title, and I don't have to work on any other thing. If you're done with one, tell me to move on. All right, only Camellia done. Others? Stage is done. Middles for no, done. Good. Ishita, what about you? Himanshu, Harman, Rachita done. Jay, Shreya, Ashish, Abhishek, Ishita done. Wonderful. All right, let's move on. Want to make sure that I'm not cutting on the content. So anything with a repetition, I'll skip that. Things that are not repetition, we'll try to cover that. Okay. So going back to what I had. So the cards are done. Top part done, bottom this done. Now comes this part. What is the role of it? It's a filter. It's an interactive filter, and we call it a slicer. What is the role of it? Its role is to slice, dice, and analyze the data. So right now, this is giving me, there are two chart types that were mentioned in this data. Either the information of a song that it was done was it was a part of top 200, or it was the viral 50. You know how the top 10, top 100 lists are there. So this was top 200 and this is viral 50. So if I wanted to understand how many songs in 2021 went into this list of viral 50, how many artists were there and which countries, were involved, then as soon as I click over here, all the numbers have changed. So around 20,000 songs were viral, 70 countries, number of artists, almost 16,000 artists titles were in the viral 50. And if you see, if I remove this, do you see the chart at the bottom? We are able to see that there was something in North America, there were songs, in Canada, there were songs, in Asia, small portion
Yes,
of
ma'am.
it, Europe was a huge portion, right? Austria is a huge one. And as soon as I click on the viral 50, what happened? It changed. So viral was where? Viral was over here, this European, over here, Russia, over here, big one, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan. These songs were more viral than the songs in North America or Canada. All right. Ireland, Denmark, Finland, Belgium, and let's not forget Spotify is a Swedish company, right? So obviously its presence in Europe has to be a little more. Got it? So that's the role of the slicer. Now let's create it. How do we create it? Where is slicer? First column, right below the globe is a slicer. So we are going to click on it. So now you must have understood how Power BI works. Everything needs a placeholder. First we create a placeholder and then we drop fields in it. Simple process. Select visualization, create the placeholder, drop the field into it, format the visual, and we are done. So in this, what I am going to drop is, like I said, it's the chart. So two chart types are there, top 250. So I click on chart or I bring chart over here and it has dropped. Does it look like the one I have?
No, ma'am.
So again, I did something, right, in the formatting part. So what did we do over here? We went again to the format. This thing that you look at is kind of a, if you look over here, this is a list. It's a list, right? And it's vertical. I want it horizontal. So I am going to go to the format and make sure you selected that particular visual before you go to format. Otherwise, you'll end up formatting something else. And you will click on the format. And in the slicer settings, the orientation is vertical. We are going to make it horizontal. That's step number one. Now, once you've selected something and you want to unselect everything or select all rather, there's this very tiny symbol that pops up over here. Do you see this clear selections? Do you think it's intuitive or easy to find the symbol? Think from end user point of view who does not know Power
No,
BI.
no.
Not at all. This tiny thing is and depends on your theme. In this theme, it's even almost gone in the background. So instead of banking on this particular small symbol, I want a button over here called select all, which is more intuitive in nature. So once I've made this horizontal, I went in the selection and I turned this thing on. So that gave me three buttons now: select all, top 200 and viral 50. Got it? So that's how I got that. And I'm going to turn off the slicer header. And you can test it. When you click on it, the numbers should change. And when you click on select all, you should get your original numbers back. Can you repeat the select all? Absolutely yes. Once I've selected the slicer, sorry, let me go back to this one. Once you go back to the slicer, we go to format. And underneath the slicer setting where we convert it from vertical to horizontal, you will also see selection and you click on select all. Tejas, you got it? Okay. Camellia is on fire. She's got the fastest finger over here.
Ma'am, it's not coming in horizontal, it's coming in vertical only.
If it's coming in vertical, just squeeze it in. Don't give it space to become vertical. You understand?
Yeah.
It might come like this. If it's coming like this, just don't give it space till it turns into a horizontal row. Yes, Ayush.
Please repeat this slide step, ma'am.
To convert it in the orientation or the full thing?
The full thing, ma'am.
The
Starting
full
part.
thing. Okay. So step number 1, create it. It's over here. Right? Step number 2, I just reduce the size and the height to fit in with my card on the top. And the red guiding lines are there in Power BI to help you do this. Okay. Step number 3, I need to put a field in it. So the field I've put is charts. So if I click on it, it's there. So far, so good, Ayush?
Yes.
Yeah. Then we change the orientation. So for that, we went to Format, Visual, Slicer Settings, made it vertical to horizontal, and change the selection and turned on the Select All button for us.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So once this is done, next step is, which chart do you want to create first? The map or the bar chart?
As you wish.
Let's do what we were doing. Let's follow the typical map. Map is in demand. All right, let's do the map first. So where is the map? Map is again a visual type. And the globe is what I've used. And once you click it, it comes up like this. I have made it bigger to fit in, made sure it is in alignment with the things on the top. And what do I need to drop here?
Data.
Which fields? Which data? There are only what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 columns. Region and
Reason.
and JSON is a type of a file, right? There's no, what you need to drop Tejas is from here. These are the fields.
Ma'am, region.
And
Region.
titles.
Themes.
I need to drop the region. Okay.
And-
So what happens when you put a region? Let's say if I put it on, not in legend, it should go in location. So what did it do? What are the small dots telling me?
The songs which have been played in this regions.
No, it's just telling me what is the regional data I have, like what all regions are present in my data.
What all
set.
countries are in the data set? Yeah.
Exactly. Because all dots are same size or different size?
Same size, ma'am.
Same
It is
size.
same
Same
size.
size,
So
yeah.
all it has done right now is
In
put a
the
dot in,
point.
this is the data I have for the
Okay.
region. Right?
Hmm.
Now, obviously, this is not interesting to look at. Interesting would be to see, let's say, the size of the bubble. These are small bubbles. And I want to change the size of the bubbles based on, it could be the number of artists from a country, it could be a number of title. I have done it based on titles coming from a country. So I'm going to pick title
And add it here.
place it in bubble size. Now what it is doing again, it's doing a count of the title. I'm making it count distinct. And this is the output that you also are looking at.
And what does the streams field convey?
Which?
The streams
Streams in the
above,
data.
above title.
Oh, streams, number of streams. Like when you stream the data, it's a streaming website, right?
Yeah.
So let's say
Number
I
of
have
plays.
Spotify and I play a music, I'm streaming it. So number of times it has streamed the data. The
And
stream
ma'am, if we
song.
and ma'am, if you want to add the artist data also in this, so that what
It will not look good because see, on a map, already it's a lot of clutters, right? On top of that, you want to put more data. So how would visually, how do you think it will show up?
No, I was saying like in the slicer we have put two datas, the viral
Mm-hmm.
50 and viral 20. So
Mm-hmm.
can we also add a slicer here? And like when we click on the number of artists, so like
Mm-hmm.
it shows the data of the artist. And when we click on the number of titles, then it,
We can, but my only challenge over there is there are too many artists in this data set. And one good thing about Power BI is all the data as it is talk to each other. For example, I've pulled this popular artist list. Okay. Now I know Taylor Swift. So if I click on Taylor Swift, all the other data, do you see it has changed?
yes, ma'am.
So Taylor Swift, her song is being played in 70 countries, 98 songs, most popular over here. Philippines, nobody knew that, right? At least I would not have. And let's say Keanu West, most popular in North America, makes sense. He's
Got it.
yeah, so 35 songs like that. So they all interact with each other. That's the best part, right? In fact, I had to break the connectivity because if you go viral 50, my top 10 titles were not working very nicely, and I did not have time to figure out why they were not working. So I had broken the interaction, in fact. Okay, so this is how we got the regions. Now look at this data. Can you spot the difference? New game. Spot the difference between this and the one I have.
Top
Can
10
you
popular
show again?
artists and
You have fewer bubbles in
I
your
have fewer bubbles, and the map also looks different, right?
yes.
Yes. So what did I do? Let's go ahead. Now, if I put so many data points on a visualization, it's actually not helping me to find any kind of insight. It's not helping me at all. It is taking away, then giving me something. So what I did, like I know there are so many regions it's being played, but what would I be interested in? I might be interested in the top ones. So how did I put top 10 regions over here? And then secondly, how did I change the look and feel of my map to merge with my theme? Because if I have blue, it's not going with my theme. I have got green and black and gray, and suddenly this blue component has come, which is not looking nice. So let's change the theme of it. So select the map, format, map settings, and instead of road, I'm going to go for the grayscale. Now it merges well, correct?
Yes.
Looks better. Second thing, I am going to use the third window now of filters. So once I click on filter, it is showing me count of title that is there and regions. So where do I want to put filter? Do I want to filter the based on count of title, or do I want to filter based on region?
Reason.
Region. And how do I want to filter? So I've got something called basic filtering, which might not be very visible because of the theme. But there are three things: basic filtering, advanced filtering, and top N. So I'm going to pick top N, and I can pick either top or bottom. I'll go with the top, and I'll say top 10. Now it doesn't really give you an output right here. Now top 10 based on what? If I have to find top 10 regions, you have to tell based on which field you want to find it. And that's where, again, I'm going to bring the titles and drop it. The title is a text, or again, what it has done, it has picked first, but I want a count distinct. And I'm going to apply, and that reduces my regions.
Yes.
Okay, I'll wait till you guys finish this part.
Well, actually, in my Power BI, the map is not coming. It's showing
Map
some,
is,
it's showing some settings issue, security issue.
which map did you pick? The globe?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go to options.
Yeah,
Tejas
it's
is
saying go to
giving,
options, global, then security.
so file and options and settings and options. This is how you go to options.
Yes, ma'am, I've been there. And
And
now,
then, I
then
don't know.
security.
Then it says go to security. Okay, let's go to security, and then
And then you will tell, ma'am.
Then
I
you can
want to
click
see
the map as okay. So there's a map
map,
setting here. Yeah, just
use
go and
map
click
and
it
field
and
map visual.
I have done that, but it's not coming.
Not coming. Are you connected to an internet on your machine?
Yes, ma'am.
Security scroll, there you go, delete. Delete what?
remove the map and then try again.
Okay, okay.
Oh, delete and the map and try again. All right.
Okay, bro, thanks.
Done. Jeet, how are we doing over there? All good? Jeet is watching the live stream. So that's why I'm asking him. If you have any questions, Jeet, do write it in the chat. I'll help you out. All right, one more chart to go. And if I am able to tell you that chart, the other one is a replica of it. So you should be able to finish the entire dashboard. Surya, any questions? Tripti, any questions from you? Asif, Anand, any questions? All right, guys, let's start. It's already 7. Okay. Next, which is this chart type? Which chart have I used? The top 10 popular artists.
Looks like a bar
Bar
chart.
It is a bar chart. Good. It is a bar chart. And what did I do? I put the artist in the x-axis, and in the y-axis, I've put a distinct count of title. So how do we create it? Same way that we have created a map. First, we are going to pick the visualization. This is a clustered bar chart, which is the third column, first row. And once I'm done with this, like I said, artist in the x-axis and the title in the y-axis, because that's the thing that I want to plot, and not all the title, but I want a distinct count of the title. Now, again, this list is going to be there, right? So instead of having all this list and not being able to use it properly, I focused on the top 10 because the list is too long. So how will I do the top 10?
We have to similarly filter the data.
Absolutely. So we'll go to filters on artist, do top 10, pick top and 10, put title again in by value, make sure we are working with the count distinct and apply. And there you go. You have the top 10 artists.
Ma'am, I don't understand why
I'm
we
gonna
use
repeat this.
You don't understand?
by value. Why we use a count of title by value?
Okay. For example, I am showing taking a different example. Okay. Let's say I am looking at products and the sales.
Okay.
Okay. So this bars that are showing up, that is showing for a product, how much is the total sales.
Okay.
But now I want to see the sales of my top 10 products, the products who are giving me maximum profit. So products, top 10 products based on profit. Okay. So in this case, there could be two different things that we're working with, right?
Yes.
Make sense? But in our case, it's the title. We are showing title and we are doing top 10 on title. But just to give you a perspective why this buy value is kept so differently, so that I can do it on multiple things. I can say, okay, I want top 10. I want to look at the products and their sales, but which are these products which are giving me maximum profit?
Understand, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And just like I created this, I created the one for the songs. But in the songs, I can't use the title, right? So in the titles, went in the x-axis, and the number of streaming that happened, that shows the popularity of the song, how many times it was streamed. So in the third one, I've used the titles and I've used the number of streams and did the top 10 based on streams itself. All right. Let me know if the top 10 popular artist is done based on the title.
I'm going to repeat the title once again.
Title once again.
Yes,
This
ma'am.
one, this chart, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what did we do? We dropped
Bar
a
chart,
cluster
okay.
column. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bar chart, right? And then we dropped artist in the x-axis and y-axis the distinct count of title.
Okay, and I'm in the second one.
And
What
in
have
the filter, in the second chart or the filter part?
both?
Okay, so let's complete this one. So once we are done with this, I wanted to focus on top 10. So what we did, we went to the artist and we applied, how come it's not showing up over here? I did not put it, I guess. Then we went and we said we want the top N. We want the top 10 artists to be shown over here based on the titles. So how many, titles we put, it drops as first title, but I don't want first, I want count distinct and apply filter.
Okay, okay.
I'm just thinking popularity is not because of the title, but because of the streaming, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Makes sense, right? So let's remove title. Let's get the top 10 based on streams. Number of streams that has happened. Okay. And so this is popularity based on number of streams, and 34, 31, 28 is telling about, so this is a chart, bigger view. So these are my top 10 artists based on the number of streaming that has happened. And
we
these are
have
the
to
number
change
of songs.
count of title also, x-axis.
No, I don't want to change that. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh,
I am pulling the popularity is because of the streams, but I don't want to show how many times their songs stream. I want to show how many titles they have. Let's say they have 34 songs, 31 songs, 28 songs. That is more important. If it was like, say, for example, what interesting insight I could get, let's say there was an artist who have, let's say, 5 songs, but the 5 songs are streaming a lot. So that guy will be on the top, even though his number is 5. Understood?
yes, ma'am.
So that would be interesting to see, right? If somebody is like that. All right, and we are done. How many of you were able to finish it? Or at least half of it, if not all?
Last bar chart is still remaining, but I have done all others.
Aegis is done. Very good. J is done. So even if you've done one, you will know how to create the other one. Ishita done. Wonderful. You know what is the benefit of doing these projects? What is the benefit of doing this
I
boot
get
camp?
We learn
to know about
something.
how we can
It gave you an insight of understanding how this tool is, whether you like this tool or not, how interesting you found it. If you're not excited about doing something, that thing is not meant for us then. Okay. So if you were excited to do this analysis, you found it interesting, you found it,
Ma'am, it was very interesting.
interesting, and you enjoy doing it,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
it means that yes, this kind of tool, this kind of profile is meant for you. So my profile in analytics is of a business intel BI analyst. Okay, because I don't work with the predictive side of the data at all. I always work with the intelligence, giving intelligent reports, as my clients puts it. So giving intelligent reports to the clients. So that's my work in the analytics industry. So I would say that you've done one small project with me. Try to explore more data sets on your by yourself. Once this is done, the best way right now, to be able to get into this industry of data science and to get a job, because that's the ultimate goal for everyone, to get in the right community with the network, with the right set of people, publish the work that you've done on LinkedIn. Give a title, put the story behind what this is about, what the data is about, and put this dashboard over there. You will see a lot of people will, your network will increase, and that really helps you to get into this industry. Okay, the old ways are gone. This is a new way, the social media. Is there a difference between an analyst and a BI? Kind of. BI analyst, when you talk about, they are working with the business intelligence tools like Power BI and Tableau. That's what they are meant for. And when you say analyst could also be the person who is working on R or Python and doing predictive modeling. But when you say BI is basically talking about these dashboarding concepts. What is the use of making these dashboard in Power BI like an alternate solution of analytics dashboard? Is Power BI is an alternate solution of analytics dashboard? What is the usage of these dashboard? Very good question. All these tools existed, alternate of portals. So all these tools existed, and it's not dashboard is a new concept. We used to do dashboarding, I started in this industry in 2008 is when I moved from my engineering background into an analytics field. We used to do dashboarding back then also, but to create these kind of dashboards used to take us 3 to 4 hours, and automation was required. Now this work is done very fast. Now why it has picked up so much, why the tools have become so popular? Because the number of end users have also increased. So every company is accumulating data. Every company understands with this data, if I analyze it correctly, I'll make some better judgment, a better decision for my business. So everybody wants to analyze the data. Now you may have a very good business acumen, but you don't know how to play around with the data. You don't want to do it yourself. So you hire consultants, you hire analysts, you have your team who's doing that for you. But at the end of the day, this data is used for whom? Who is using this data? All this data we are accumulating, we are doing modeling on top of it, statistics, we are using all these dashboarding. At the end of the day, who's using it? For whom you are doing it? For the head of the business. For the head of the business to make a business decision, right? To give him an insight into his business. So that guy will understand a dashboard rather than anything else. Make sense, Tejas? So the way it has increased, or why it has increased, the way these tools have been created, is that more and more people are able to use it conveniently without coming from a technical background. Because I feel that's the number one fear I find in people, that I'm not from a technical background, I want to get into data science. It is not a technical thing. It's more of a business acumen. If you understand the data, if you understand the business, you will be good in data science automatically. Okay, and the end users are all business users. They are not technical analysts sitting across you. So that's the reason. All right, guys. You guys have a good evening. I had a wonderful time in this boot camp, super interactive people. And I love the fact that you all were doing hands-on. that makes the trainer also excited to teach. It depends on the participants quite a bit. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I hope you will not stop here and you will take this knowledge and try to improve it further, try to experiment on your own. If any one of you would like to be connected with me, every time I miss that, but I'll type in my name over here. You should be able to find me on LinkedIn. And I would be more than happy to connect.
It was a very good session.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. Take care. You guys have a good evening. Thank you.
Same to you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, hope you like this session. So we are providing some offers for you, the students who have attended today's boot camp. So basically we are providing Power Pivot and Power Query as a complementary part for our bundle program in data science, business analytics. So for more information, you can fill the form, share in the chat box, and the concerned person will be contacting you back.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. And see you tomorrow for the SQL session. It is at 7 p.m.
And guys, whoever wants to get into data science, trust me, SQL is a backbone. So don't miss that session. If you're trying to get into data science and you want to feel that, yes, is it meant for me or not? Very, very important session tomorrow.
Ma'am, kindly share the video for the yesterday session.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's already in the mail, bro.